Good evening. What's going on, good people? Welcome to Pro Fan Talk. Thank you for joining me. Happy Thursday. All that kind of good stuff. Thank you for taking the time, joining me, being a part of my team, joining my huddle. Anything else I can think of, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate your time. I like to say time is the most precious thing you can give somebody because you can't never get it back. So I appreciate yours, man. A lot of stuff going on. We already got folks out of the limo. Sean Young is always number one out the limo. Sean, you know I appreciate you, brother. We got Chiquita. She's number two out the limo. Chiquita, you look new on the chats, but I appreciate you. Rob Brinkman, pay the man. Absolutely. Vince, as usual. I see you, brother. Brian's in the business. We got all five out the limo right off the bat, and I appreciate you, man. And you already know the first five out of the limo are brought to you by FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, a $50 value. FanUp.app. Let's get it. What's going on, man? What is going on? TK, I see you, fam. I see you. Jake, what up, Jake? Jake from State Farm. Yeah, we're going to get into that, man, but I'll throw it up there real quick. You think something similar to Mahomes type deal, 6 to 7 years, something like that? Yeah, man, it's looking like the Eagles are trying to get him in a better situation, I guess, for him, because long term, the longer this carries out, ain't no telling what the money's going to be like at the end of said contract. Nothing. We have no idea. So that'll be very interesting to see how that ends up turning out. So we got a lot of options. We got a lot of things that we can look at. And it's really going to come down to what I think is all up to Jalen. If Jalen want to play hardball, and I've said this before, I don't see him doing that. I don't see him like really doing the like trying to go for the most money. I think he's gonna do something very similar to Patrick Mahomes and give Howie Roseman some leeway on the contract. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. So why is my screen like this? Hold on for a second. Comments is on. Something's looking kind of suspect. I don't really like it. Profile banner. Nope, that's not it. What is going on? You know what? I'm gonna live with it. Going to live with it. Larry Aquilino. First time listener, Larry. I'm gonna call you out, man. I appreciate you, brother. I like all my new players on the team, my rookies. Got to treat them right. My dude Chucks, I need that. Hook me up with that analysis, man, on Jamal Hines. I got a guy coming in next week. He'll be a guest on the show. His name is Jamal Hines from the University of Toledo. He is looking to get drafted this year. He is a kid out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to my hometown, Princeton High School. So we are fabulous alum, Princeton High School. Put your hand over your heart every time you say it. So trying to get the young fella some exposure. So I'm looking forward to him coming to see me next week, coming to visit with us. So, if you're in the chat next week, same time, think of some questions. This kid's in the mix. He might get his name called. He might walk across the stage. You never know. So if you guys got some questions for somebody that's going to be an active participant, hook it up. Let me know. Hit me up on social media. You can hook me up. Look me up on Facebook. You can look me up on my Facebook group for Pro Fan Talk, my Twitter feed, Instagram, and also don't forget, you please go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ProFanTalk. Subscribe there, and we can get it done, man. A lot of stuff going on. Go Birds. Reese, what are you talking about, man? Honestly, I think if Jalen works out with Tom Brady in the offseason. I'm sure Tom give him some jewels. Jalen will be smart about it. Let me say this specifically about that. I'm not going to say you wrong. However, whatever Jalen did last year, all of these young quarterbacks need to be going to him, trying to figure out what workout did you do? Because the transition from year 2 to year 3 was off the charts. So, Jalen is not one to take his time lightly. He understands the assignment, and he will put in the work to get it done. So I don't think that'll be a problem at all for what Jalen's going to do. Would I want Canty at 10? I wouldn't mind it. But there are some people I would like ahead of him. So I wouldn't necessarily be mad at that pick, but is that somebody that we can get a little bit later? Because I think what's going to happen is Howie's going to end up trading that pick. I think he's going to end up trading that pick. I think he's going to end up trading down, staying in the first round, and getting another pick later on. If we don't get an extra pick, that means you're just swapping places. Maybe somebody less than 5 picks below us. So a lot of stuff can still happen, man. There's a lot of shoes that still need to fall. So we'll see what's happened. Frank, my dude, listen, I gotta show y'all this. Frank put this together, and I love this graphic. My dude, I love this graphic, man. Deal or no deal, because like, let's keep it real. That's what it's coming down to. And remember, long time ago, I don't remember what it was, I said this because I believe the type of personality that Jalen has, that type of temperament, that leadership that he has, he's going to give Howie some leeway. He's going to give him some wiggle room so he can sign other players. Jalen Hurts is smart enough to know he can't do this by himself. How many quarterbacks out there that might be all world? But if you don't have the right pieces around you, it don't matter. Does not matter. So I think Jalen Hurts understands that. And he doesn't want to put himself in the category where, yes, he's getting the most money, but you don't have enough to sign the right pieces around you. Nobody wants to be in that situation. And it's despite everything that happened in Cleveland with Deshaun Watson, I think Jalen's going to go against the grain here. And he might catch some flack from other people because now, on the flip side of that, everybody's going to use this contract as a precedent. If he just the same way they're doing Patrick Mahomes, they're going to, going forward, teams are going to try to look at what Jalen Hurts did and are going to try to sell that to other quarterbacks in the future. Now, that may or may not go over so well with the agents and the players, but it's going to be the baseline because I look to see Jalen to have a lot of incentives and stuff like that in his contract to keep it relatively low, but the incentives will move him into the super, super high money. If they really like you, they'll put incentives that are super easy to attain. You tie your shoelaces 17 times in a year and, you'll get a $2 million bonus or something goofy like that. Some of these incentives are crazy. They're crazy easy or, who knows what they are. But if you want to get them, Howie Roseman can put it in the contract so they are easy to maintain. Every time you run for a touchdown, that's an additional $50,000 bonus or something like that. You times that times 12 times in a year or 8 times in a year. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff adds up. So we'll see what's going to happen. Who's up? Don, I didn't miss you, bro. I see you, Mom. Hi, Mom. I said what's up to you, Chucks. Bohemian Grove. You were asking about Kajan. Okay. And who else we got? Brian, you disagree with the polls too? His personality isn't paid. Exactly. So we kind of agree on that one. Anybody else new? Yep, Frank, I'm with you 100%, bro. 100%. Who gets the deal first? Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, or Justin Herbert? I would think Jalen Hurts will get a deal done first. Cincinnati is in kind of uncharted territory with stuff like this because we haven't had a really what I would consider a franchise quarterback. I guess you could say Andy Dalton, but that didn't pan out. Joe Burrow is that dude. So they better back up the Brinks truck. Y'all know how I feel about Cincinnati, man. That's my hometown. So I bleed green, but I was born in the jungle, man. Don't get it twisted. So I want to see Cincinnati do him right. He's a hometown kid, too. You got to take care of the hometown, man. You got to do it. Yeah, Facebook. I know he just want to win. So he's already on the grind in the weight room, probably been over to Lane Johnson's house every day this week. He putting the work in. That's never been an issue with Jalen. Never been an issue. Very interesting what the Cardinals might do. I think the Cardinals might trade their pick. Just to stop being lazy. You know what? I kind of think that that's a bad rap on Kyler Murray. Now, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But I always look at it from the standpoint of when, what was old boy's name? What was the guy that was on, was it Vaughn Miller's podcast? He was on somebody's podcast where he said a whole bunch of stuff about Kyler Murray. And I was like, hold on. He was a young player. You was a veteran on the team and nobody ever stepped to him? Nobody ever stepped to him. Because I can tell you, shoot, when I played, if a rookie was costing us wins, there would have been a conversation with Seth Joyner. There'd have been a conversation with Randall or Byron Evans or Wes Hop, Eric Allen. Somebody would have stepped up and be like, "Look, come here, Rook. Come here, young fella. Let me talk to you." So I think it's very, especially at that position. I just thought that it was a little bit of piling on after all of that stuff came out. And I was like, well, hold on. And because, wasn't nobody saying that when he's making all them crazy plays, but he was having a rough year. So I don't think it's being lazy. I just think stuff like that tends to snowball, especially if you're losing. Very similar to what was happening in Denver with Russell Wilson. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with a different coach this year in Denver. So what do I stand on Bijan Robinson? I think Bijan Robinson I think he's going to be one of those. I think he's going to be one of them type of players where we'll be like, man, we had an opportunity to get him and we didn't get him. So, but we just don't need a running back, and we don't get running backs like that. And you can see, y'all heard me say this the past couple of weeks. My position is going away. It is evolving. It's like that Pokemon. That Pokemon has evolved, and now you got something different. Teams don't use traditional running backs no more. I don't see another, unless it's somebody that's just extra special. But guys like Henry, Derrick Henry. You look at, if you think back when Leonard Fournette came out, Leonard Fournette was a big guy, had very good speed for somebody his size, but couldn't stay healthy. But we've had those big backs. I'll go all the way back to when I was playing, or right before I was playing, Christian Okoye. Guys that big that had crazy speed for somebody that size. That's gone the way of the CD. They just don't use them like that anymore. Very similar to the tight end position. Tom Arnone, what's going on? Everybody say what's up to Tom, the brains of the operation. Tom is the mastermind behind A2D Radio. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah, man, I wish. Let me say it like this: me personally, I wouldn't mind getting Bijan Robinson. However, that is a very risky proposition. Number one, the way we use running backs in Philadelphia. And number two, we still don't know what our offensive coordinator is going to do with our running backs in Philadelphia, let alone the rest of our offense. So we had a 1,000-yard rusher, and I will keep arguing this. I believe, my opinion, just from what I saw in my experience as a running back and all of that kind of stuff, if we would have used Miles Sanders as a number one running back, if we would have used him like a true number one running back, he would have been top 3 in rushing. Easy. Maybe even led the league. I did this math. I think Derrick Henry ended up leading the league. And I took Derrick Henry's yards, Miles Sanders' yards, and I took the difference. And then I multiplied it by Miles Sanders' yard per carry. And that difference would have put him at number one. And maybe if he doesn't make that or something happens, he's still in the top 3, top 5 at worst. We just didn't use him right. To our detriment, specifically that Chicago game. So back to the original question, where do I stand on Bijan Robinson? I think Bijan Robinson is going to be that dude because I do believe that the biggest fear I have is Jerry Jones going to find a way to snag him up, trade a couple picks, get up there, and now you got a 1-2 punch with Pollard and Bijan Robinson. It's like, Lord have mercy, what are you going to do? Because he's that type of back. So is Pollard. So now you get 2 running backs that you can put at wide receiver, and there's going to be a lot of cornerbacks that can't cover him, or a lot of linebackers that definitely can't cover him. So that is a very interesting queen on the chessboard. You can move him in any different direction, and any team that snags him is going to be better for having him. So it'll be interesting to see who snacks him up. But definitely keep your eye on Dallas, because I can see Dallas doing something like that. Definitely. So let me see. Eagles won't get a Sean Alexander type back. No, they won't get a Sean Alexander type back. We already got him. We got Rashad Penny. We got Trey Sermon. We already got big back. We got big backs. We got small backs, and we got a powerhouse. Rashad Penny can run the rock. Rashad Penny's problem was he couldn't stay healthy. But go back and look at tape on Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny runs hard. But it all falls back on how we are going to run our offense. The reason why I like Bijan Robinson is because I don't see Brian Johnson just completely gutting the offense and coming up with his own scheme. Why would you do that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He is going to tweak a lot of things. He has to, because everybody got us on tape. And heck, they had us on tape and they still couldn't stop us. But he's got to change some things. But he's not going to gut the whole offense. So I would expect it to be very similar to what we did last year. Last year, we like to run out of gun formation. Last year, we like to run out of gun formation. Bijan Robinson can run out of gun formation left to right. He's that type of back. Rashad Penny is not. Rashad Penny is not that type of dude. He needs to be going downhill. Miles Sanders was the same way. I thought Miles Sanders was better served going downhill because he likes to jump and he likes to slash. But I give credit to Miles Sanders last year because Miles Sanders changed his game a little bit. He wasn't, and a lot of people criticize him because he likes to jump cut and do that. And I'm like, you can't criticize that because that's what got him here. That's what made him that draft pick. That's what he was doing at Penn State. That's his style. People used to tell me I was a slasher. I didn't have juke moves and spin moves and all of that kind of stuff. I would hit the hole and I would run around you and you couldn't catch me. My hero, I modeled myself after Gale Sayers. Gale Sayers was done playing years before I even went to college or high school. I ended up seeing a Gale Sayers tape. Our high school coach showed the NFL films, I'm showing my age now because we watched the reel-to-reel film. And I saw that film where Gail Sayers said, all I need is 18 inches, and I'll do the rest. And once I saw that, I changed my number to 40, and the rest was history. So I modeled myself out of him. I was never like a jukey type guy. I just ran hard. If I knew you were going to tackle me, I tried to punish you. But we got Rashad Penny. Whew, that boy is a force. So the way we run running backs, I can see Rashad Penny staying healthy because we're not going to pound him 17 to 25 times a game. And if we do run the ball 17 to 25 times a game, 5 to 8 of those are going to be for Jalen. 7 of those are going to be for Gainwell. And then the rest would be for Rashad Penny based on what formation we have. Because I don't see Rashad Penny being really effective at a gun. So we'll see what happens. Don, I'm with you, bro. If we can get Witherspoon, if we can get Gonzalez, and there's another, I wouldn't even mind going after Kelly Ringo. So I listen, 6'2" and runs a low 4.3. I'm good with that. When you in this situation and you got size and speed like that, yo, go for it. Go for it. You got to understand, with the exception of linebacker, our defensive line, and I believe we might get another defensive lineman, but our defensive line, we got vets that are coming back, finishing their career with the Eagles. You got Derek Barnett. A lot of people really don't like Derek Barnett, but Derek Barnett can ball, and Derek Barnett makes plays. Yes, he gets stupid and makes some dumb penalties, but he still makes plays. So you got Cox, you got Sweat, you got Milton Williams, you got BG and Derek Barnett, and then you got big man in the middle, Jordan Davis. So whoever we bring in on the defensive line, you got plenty of vets to bring them along the way. Then in our secondary, if we do draft a secondary safety or a hybrid at number 10, somebody that can play safety and corner like CJ. If we do get that player, again, you got the veterans to bring them along, take them under the wing, and teach them what they need to know. You got Slay and you got Bradbury. You got Avante Maddox. So you got 3 legit veterans that can bring somebody in. Yep, I'm sorry, Larry. Hassan Reddick on the defensive line. Absolutely. So we got plenty of veterans on our defense. Our defense is going to be fine. Yes, we lost Hargrave, but I think we'll be okay. So our only big question mark is, what is Nakobe Dean going to do at linebacker? And are they going to keep Nakobe Dean in the middle? He played in the middle in the SEC, and he was the team captain. Everybody loved him. Nobody has had a bad thing to say about Nakobe Dean when he was at Georgia. But at 230 pounds playing Mike, stranger things have happened. I grew up watching Sam Mills. I know how them small dudes can work. So Singletary out of Chicago, he was a small dude that could bring the wood. So there's been plenty of small linebackers that are not afraid to mix it up. So we get a lot of question marks on what we can do. I want to see if Howie's going to go after this man right here, Ryan Neal. That's somebody we could use in our secondary. Ready to plug and play day one. We sign him. He's our starting safety. You want to move Reed Blankenship? Move him. Reed Blankenship's not going to start over Ryan Neal. So let's see how we can make that happen. I'm sure he's made the call. See if the price is right. And now, once again, like we talked last week, Philadelphia is a destination now. People want to come here. I like that kid, Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't mind being around him. Let's see what they can do. People want to come here now. Something to be said for that. So, oh, did he sign with the Bucks? Not die? I didn't know he signed with the Bucks. I didn't see that. What's up, Sean? I don't believe they will, but if they decided to go offensive line, would you go Skoronski or Paris Johnson? It honestly, it don't matter. It don't matter. That's when you questions like these, you splitting hairs. You splitting hairs. So how I look at it is that is where you look at your staff. And I'm talking about the Eagles. They scouts and everything. They do all of their homework because we as fans, we're splitting hairs. They're both either one of those picks. Let Jeff Stoutland get a hold of them. I'm good. To me, Jeff Stoutland is like if you guys have ever seen Conan the Barbarian, the dude that was teaching Conan all of the stuff before he let him go, just bringing out the wild in him. That's Jeff Stoutland. Jeff Stoutland seems to get the best out of everybody he coaches. Everybody. We haven't had too many disappointments at offensive line that played under Stoutland. So, if they're going to get a lineman, I trust that they will have done more than enough homework when it comes to that. So, but we got some more. We had some more drafts. Let me see. Let me put this up. Had a couple more mock drafts. Can I do this? Let me see. Nope. There we go. So these are two different mock drafts. And you can tell one of them is old because Chicago's still up there. But I'm looking at it from the first pick. CJ Stroud with the. So how did the Colts get back up there? See, I missed that one. See, now the order's all jacked up. So we can skip this one. Cam Smith. I would love to get Christian Gonzalez. See, and here's the wild card. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. Here's the wild card is Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is the wild card for the first round. If you got the first 15 picks, Jalen Carter is the linchpin. He's the Jenga block. That block gets put in the wrong way, the whole tower's gonna fall. Who's going to take a chance on him? If he falls to number 10, absolutely. Absolutely, you snag him. You do not let that type of player walk away. You get him. But I think it's some other things going on with him. I think teams are still doing their investigations because he got some pretty serious accusations around him. And I know now I saw the one tape of the street camera, the traffic camera, and they had him, pulling off. But that wasn't, to be honest, that wasn't anything too egregious. People do that stuff all the time down there. So, but I'm positive that the Eagles are doing their homework because you're not going to let Jalen Carter walk away. He's probably the best athlete in the draft, arguably. So, you want Porter Jr., Chris? You would take Porter Jr. or Jalen Carter. I know, obviously Jalen Carter, but if I'll assume you're saying if Porter was available. So I don't understand. I don't know because if Porter, I think you could get Porter at a lower pick. I think you might be able to get Porter in the 20s. So we'll see. So he's that type. Jalen Carter. I mean, if that's what you think, Porter, to me, the only knock on Joey Porter was he doesn't have blazing speed. He has good speed, but at the end of the day, Jalen, Joey Porter Jr. has game speed. That's what I like to call it. His 40 time might not blow you out of the water, but when you're one of the best safety / cornerbacks in the league in college, you doing something. Because then you gotta, if you're gonna give credit to all of those wide receivers, all them dudes running 4.3s and 4.2s, if you're gonna give all of them credit, you gotta give credit to the dudes that gotta cover them. So he's arguably the number 3 or 4 person in his secondary in the draft. So he must have been doing something right. Larry, I'm with you, bro. I don't see Howie keeping that pick unless somebody falls, unless Jalen Carter falls, unless something happens and Jalen Carter falls. Because you get other teams needing quarterbacks and all of that kind of stuff. So it could happen. It could definitely happen. But there's so many things that can happen depending on what other teams do. If Skoronski is there at 10, I think he will be the pick. He's compared to Zach Martin. I ain't mad at that. I agree until you say Cam Jurgens will be a backup. Cam Jurgens is not a backup. Cam Jurgens was ready to play last year. Cam Jurgens will either be at left or right guard. They are not going to keep Cam Jurgens on the sideline anymore. To me, that would be a waste of talent. You put him at left guard, whatever he's comfortable with. I'm sure he's played it before, but you put him left or right at guard, and you let him go to work. That dude was ready to play last year, in my opinion. If something would have happened to Kelsey, I don't think we would have skipped a beat. So they're not going to sit Cam Jurgens, in my opinion. I hear you, Vince. Howie loves the spotlight. First day of the draft is his day. What's to say he doesn't make a power move to trade up to snag 2 top defensive players of this year? Nothing. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If the right player is available, I can see him doing something like that, making a splash, shaking up the board. I can see him doing that. I got to give Howie props, man. Howie learned his lesson. If you've ever heard Joe Banner tell a story, Pete, what's going on, brother? If you ever heard Joe Banner tell a story of when the Eagles let Russell Wilson go. Russell Wilson was supposed to be the Eagles wanted him. The problem was they didn't move up to get him. And Seahawks snagged him. That was their guy. Based on their prognostications, they thought that he would fall to them. So they didn't move up to get him. They didn't move up to get their guy. And it ended up costing them. And I think Howie has learned that lesson. If your guy's available and you can go up to get him, go up to get him so you don't lose him. So I could see that happen. I could definitely see that happen. So Howard is the Wizard of Philadelphia. I trust that he's going to make the right decisions. And I think he's going to put us in a good situation going into the next year. Want to switch lanes real quick. Everybody that saw the college football stuff I'm sorry, the college basketball stuff, the women's college basketball. Y'all know where I'm going with this. This stuff was all over the news, man. All over the news. It was crazy. LSU balled out. Kim Mulkey. I didn't realize Kim Mulkey, she won a championship. She won a gold medal, and she's coached 2 championships, I think. Kim Mulkey ain't no joke. Now, you can laugh at all them crazy outfits she wearing all you want, but she know ball. She definitely knows ball. But this stuff was all over the news, and this got crazy. Because it was, I've never seen so many people. Anybody that has played sports knows that basketball, more than any other, they talk smack in football, but basketball, they are in your face, jaw jacking all the time. So I don't understand why this got such attention. And it didn't. It wasn't that big of a deal. The problem was the response to it. That was the problem. The problem was the response to it. So, little favoritism because it seems like girls catch it worse than guys. Guys do this kind of crap all the time. Guys talk smack. Nobody said anything when Kansas and Kansas State had that brawl a couple years ago. It didn't receive this much attention. So I thought that was interesting. And when you got somebody like Caitlin Clark, and don't get it twisted, man, Caitlin Clark is a baller. Caitlin Clark is a straight up baller, but she can talk shit with the best of them. Don't get it twisted. Y'all didn't see what she did to the girl. I think it was from Louisville. I don't think it was South Carolina. I think it was the girl from Louisville when they played Louisville. The girl took the ball into the corner and she didn't even guard her. She swiped her hand like, yeah, y'all go ahead. You can have it. Take your shot. So she did one of these numbers. The girl was over there and she was kind of like in the corner. She wasn't in the deep corner. She was outside the 3-point line. And Caitlin Clark was like, you go ahead. Like, I ain't even guarding you. I was like, ooh, that's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But when you talk smack like that, you better be able to back it up. And she balled out. Same thing with Angel Reese. When you talk smack like that, you in people's face and you want to be loud like that, you better be able to back it up. You better be able to back it up. Larry, you absolutely right, bro. And quiet as kept, this generation never saw Larry Bird play. I did. So I know how much smack Larry Bird used to talk. But he could back it up. And Larry Bird had them jokers shook back in the day. You did not want to go into Boston because that dude with that crazy wind around shot, and he wouldn't miss. He was a bad man. Don't get it twisted. But when you can ball like that at that level, you gonna talk smack, period. I hate when people come in that was disrespectful, that was poor sportsmanship. The hell with all of that crap. When you compete in something like that, when you are emotional in the moment, you're going to do some things that you don't normally do. That's part of every game, period. People can say what you should and shouldn't do. If you've never been in that situation, I'm not really trying to hear you. Because I look at myself as someone never really talk smack. That's not my personality. But I have been in some situations where I broke a tackle or linebackers talking smack to me all game and I bust off a 40, 50, 60 yard touchdown. I'm looking for them. What you got to say now? Or you do the stereotypical point to the scoreboard, or, I've been in them situations. And sometimes your emotion gets the best of you because you get sick. When that's in your ear the whole time, you got to say something. So I don't see what she did. Everybody making a big deal. She shadowed her around the court. She followed her around like twice. She got in her face twice. All in 8 seconds. Give me a break. Give me a break. And people get mad. And this is the one thing that I wanted to say, because this gets into it ends up being a very touchy subject. That people always want to say, why does everybody want to make it about race? And my answer is, unless you've been in that situation on the losing end of it, and I'm not talking losing as of losing a game. I'm talking about losing as you and someone else, you did the exact same thing, but you get in trouble. And I'm telling people, when people say stop making it about race, me as a black athlete that has been in those situations, the experience is different. So you can only speak on something like that if you have empathy, if you've been through that situation. I remember, and I said this the other day, I remember my dad when I played baseball when I was 10 years old, and my dad getting in arguments with other coaches because I could hit the ball so far. They used to question my dad on how old I was. They thought he was cheating. It had to be another reason why. But you get another, country strong, corn-fed kid that gets in there and knocks the ball a country mile. Nobody says nothing. That's why that comes in. So when people say, why does everybody have to make it about race? Because for a lot of black athletes, that's where it ends up going, whether you like it or not. So all of that stuff came from Keith Olbermann and that dude Portnoy, who should know better, making the comments. Neither one of them players, especially Caitlin Clark, didn't have a problem with what went down. And Caitlin Clark, she knows how she talks smack, which is why she had that press conference. The problem was you got somebody like Keith Olbermann who should know better because he was on ESPN for 10 years or whatever, however long it was. He should know better. And then he had that weak retraction. He backpedaled talking about he didn't know the whole situation, which just means even more that you shouldn't say something like that. Even if you did know the whole situation, you shouldn't say something like that. Because you don't like somebody, how they end the game, now they're a classless piece of shit. Or they're effing idiots. Or like, come on. Come on. To me, that's the same as like when I used to coach, and literally when I used to coach for GT Stallions. You would always have some parents. I stopped coaching because parents and people like that, they take it too far. Your child might not be the best player or somebody else is better and somebody else is playing because they're better. And they just they get crazy. They get too emotional. So I'm glad both of them. I'm glad Angel Reese stood her ground. I'm glad Caitlin Clark had her comments like, yeah, I don't have no problem with her. I respect her. I respect the game. And she knew what she does. So, if you sensitive, the greatest invention known to man is the on-off switch. Use it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But I'm really hoping that this rivalry, if they bring it back next year, so I'm looking forward to seeing Iowa and LSU play on national TV because of this next year. And then when they go on to the WNBA, hopefully they'll be on teams that play each other. That's what the WNBA needs. They need rivalries and stuff like that. They need something to give them a boost because they can't get nobody in the building. So, yeah, I know. I didn't understand that. And again, the optics of it did not look good. And again, Jill Biden, she walked it back too. I'm sure somebody got in her ear and was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. So, like I didn't. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? She got the last laugh because she got the ring. She cut down the nets. So all the smack talk that you want or your disdain of it doesn't matter. She cut the nets down. That's what it comes down to. Yo, Maurice, you must have been reading my post, dude, because there was a point late in the third quarter in the fourth where Angel Reese, she couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom. She was missing layups, bouncing the ball off the rim, and couldn't get a rebound. And Alexis Morris basically stopped the bleeding because Caitlin Clark was hitting. And they had brought almost a 21-point lead, I believe, down to 9 points. And they had the momentum. And all of a sudden, Caitlin Clark was still hitting her threes. All of a sudden, Alexis Morris, she pops up that 10-foot for the key. She drives. She pops up the 10-foot from the other side. So she stopped the bleeding and kept them in the game and kept that lead where it was. And I believe Iowa never got closer to 9 points, I believe. 9 or 7 points or something like that. But in my opinion, Alexis Morris was the MVP of that game, hands down. She saved that game for them. So I'm with you on that one. Definitely with you on that one. So, all right. Now, as of the other night, my man, JoJo, y'all heard the coach's comments. Y'all heard Doc Rivers' comments. The MVP race is over. The MVP race is over. I hope he's right. Joel Embiid has been playing above and beyond what I expected, even after last year. But I will still say, get through this season, stay healthy, and just get it in the playoffs, bro. Get us to the playoffs. Yes, you deserve the MVP, period. But we got to go past round 2 in the playoffs, bro. We got to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we got to get to the finals. And the way y'all almost lost that game against Boston, like, come on, son. Come on. You got 30 seconds on the clock, and you get like a 7 to 8 point lead. You give the ball up, you foul on a 3-pointer, and they still get the ball back and have a chance to hit a 3 to take the game. And it's like, why are y'all even in this situation? Why? And we get sloppy at the end. And I don't understand. I want to be able to, just like we used to talk about the Eagles. When you got a lead, we got to be able to put our foot on the gas or put your foot on their neck and just take them out of the game. Now, having said that, I already know that is easier said than done. Boston is one of the best teams in the league, but you gotta show up for stuff like that. So I'm very interested in how this is going to shake out, who we get in the first round and all that kind of stuff. I'm just ready for it to get started. I'm ready. And that was one game. We know they can beat Boston, but it can't be all Embiid. We got to have a little bit better. We can't rely on PJ Tucker to hit threes all game. How often is that going to happen? Let's keep it 100. How often is that going to happen when PJ Tucker is just hot like that? I don't know. And people coming into a game, if we do manage to get Boston before we get to the finals or something like that, you think anybody's scared of PJ Tucker? So we got to start pouring it on these boys. James Harden has been playing up to expectations, so props to him. He's been balling, but we just gotta don't do nothing stupid. Let me say it like that. That's what we got to do. The Sixers are in a good spot. Everything is falling in their favor. I don't want to see Embiid pouting because he didn't win the MVP, because I think that he will. So that's off the table now. And like, dude, all you got to do is concentrate on balling in the finals. Nobody can stop Embiid. Nobody can stop Embiid. The only thing that stops Embiid if he's not hitting those jumpers. Nobody can stop him. Embiid looks like Dirk Nowitzki. Not quite as graceful as Dirk was, but JoJo was hitting those 10 to 15 jumpers like nobody's business. And when you got a 7-footer fading away on a jump shot, unless you jumping out the damn gym, you are not going to stop that shot. The only thing that's going to stop it is if he's off. That's the thing that's scary. If JoJo is off with his jumpers, Is he going to take it to the hole all the time? And is he going to get enough support? Do we have enough bench to handle it? Because that's what it's going to end up coming down to. Do we have enough bench to do what we have to do? What does it say about Kyrie Irving now that Dallas might miss the playoffs? What it says is that regardless of how good you are as a player, you still need a team, especially in hoops. Especially in hoops. We, of all people, should know this because we had a gentleman in this city named Allen Iverson that could do everything. And how many times did we make it to the finals? And then when we made it to the finals, we won one game. So you got to have a squad around you. You got jokes. You got jokes, Sean. Mike, what's good, bro? Disagree with the poll. I think coming slightly back to Jalen Hurts. I can't argue with you, dude. I think he'll come under. I wouldn't put that past Howie, but I think whatever they come with, yeah, we talked about that earlier. You must have missed it. I think Jalen's going to give them cap flexibility. I do believe that. Why is he scared? He's not scared of Jokic. He's not scared. He just rested because didn't you see Jokic resting 2 days later? Here's the thing with that, and I mean people gonna get on him. That's just the way it works right now. But if something happens to Embiid and he gets hurt, doesn't win the MVP, and we don't go anywhere in the playoffs, what are we gonna say? He was too busy worrying about the MVP, and he should have been saving himself for the playoffs. So when he pulls himself out with the calf injury, and he did have a legit calf injury, you want to kill him for that. So my logic is, if they're going to get you, make it worth your while. And in my opinion, he did the right thing. He did the right thing. Take yourself out, take a couple of days off, and then get back with it later. You didn't lose any ground. Then he comes back and puts that 50 burger up. He didn't lose any ground at all. Now, granted, if he'd have done that, if he'd have done the rest thing and he would have came back average, he would have caught some flack. But when you come back putting 30, 40, and 50 every night, nah. When you do what he did against Boston, nah. He's in good shape. You can say he's scared all you want, but guess what? We'll see in the playoffs. We'll see in the playoffs. So, Larry, I agree. Without Embiid, they are about 25 to 30 win team because they just don't have enough pieces. Maxey is good. Harden is good. But other than that, there's not too many other people I'm worried about. Maxey's getting better. He hasn't reached his prime yet. Harden is on the way down, but still playing damn good ball. So, yeah, he's the player. He's the moneymaker. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So we're still a team to beat. We're still a team that has to be feared. If everybody plays up to their potential. We can't have droughts, man. You can't have droughts in the playoffs. You got to be going full throttle. We can't have bad games in the playoffs. Too much is at stake. They will send you home. Faux. Hopefully we can do that. But he's been playing. He's you know, he's hammering his name on the MVP trophy. If he keeps doing what he's doing, who gonna stop him? Nobody. I'm trying to see. Are we playing now? I don't know. Yes, we are. It is 29-25. The Heat. You know what? The Heat. That's the 76ers Dallas Cowboys. Every time we play the Cowboys, whether we have a better team or not, they always give us issues. They always give us problems. Same thing with the Heat. Every time the Sixers play the Heat, they always give us problems. Butler gets in our face, gets in our grill, talks that smack, and balls out. And we always have problems with the Heat. So, but I mean, it's still first quarter. So it is what it is. Cleveland and Orlando are tight. Portland and San Antonio, they haven't started yet. Yeah, we're the only. Yeah, it's only 2 games going on right now. Cleveland and Orlando, and us in Miami. So, but Larry, yeah, Doc needs to do some things different going into the playoffs. We can't pull that. What he's been doing, he's got to figure out a way to change it up, man. Got to figure out a way. We cannot waste this opportunity. Everybody's playing. Everybody's reaching their peak right now at the right time. Maxi's on the rise. Like I said, Harden is just, he's managing to hang on, but you know he's going downhill. But he's been doing the right thing and keeping that high level up. And JoJo's just been off the charts. So there's nothing really, but just like us, we just like the Eagles, sometimes he loses the chess match. So better do something, man. Better do something, because I think this is the last official year of the process. The last official year of the process. And then I think they're gonna try to do something different next year, depending on how we end. I don't know. So we'll see what's gonna happen, man. We will see what's gonna happen. So, but listen, I'm about to get up out of here, man. It's been an hour already. Very lively chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. Bring that energy back next week with my guest Jamal Hines. And if I haven't mentioned it before, Thursday mornings I do a show called Morning Coffee with my friend Joey Silva and Justin Deals. We are on RVN Television, rvntelevision.com/live. I am on from 7:30 to 8. I do a sports segment from 7:30 to 8 a.m. every Thursday. So Thursday is my busy day. So, and as usual, hit me up, social media, Twitter, Insta. Please smash that like button. Check me out on my social or my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search Pro Fan Talk. You can find me, and please subscribe. I'm trying to grow. And I guess I will see y'all next week, man. Maybe we can get into the Phillies. I had a picture of Kyle Schwarber. I promise I did. Hold on. There we go. Let me get my Phillies moment. There you go. Kyle Schwarber. Stop that, don't get so caught up on the slow start. Holler at me when we 25 games in. This means nothing. So we're doing all right. But I'm going to get out of here, man. Everybody enjoy their holiday. Don't eat too much. I think I'm going to be putting a brisket on my smoker. And I will see you guys next week. Appreciate you. Peace.